Welcome back to Kat's Kitchen. My name is Kat, and today we're going to be making 5 different recipes using the Nescafe Ice Roast instant coffee powder. Nescafe has been around for a long time with their instant coffee powders, but they recently came out with this ice roast one that is meant to be used in iced coffee recipes. I did a taste test video on it a few weeks ago, and I'll link that video in the description if you want to watch that one. And today I'm going to make 5 recipes, all from the Nescafe website. So if you go to the Nescafe website, they have all sorts of different recipes using their different instant coffees. So I found 5 recipes that use this specific ice roast instant coffee, and we're gonna make all 5 of them, taste test them, and then we'll rate each one. I do just wanna note that these are not recipes coming from me. They're coming directly from the Nescafe website. I'm just trying them out, rating them, and then I'll let you know if there's any modifications I would make to the recipe to make it better, or if I would just drink it as is. The first recipe we'll make is the Nescafe Ice Roast Horchata. It honestly sounds really good. You need the Nescafe Ice Roast instant coffee, 2 teaspoons of this, 4 ounces of cold water, 1.5 cups of a pre-made horchata mix. I just bought this from Walmart. Of course, you can make your own if you want to make your own horchata. And then some ice. Let's dive in. I do like horchata, and I do like horchata with coffee. So I'm interested to try this one. I'm adding in 2 teaspoons of the Nescafe Ice Roast coffee powder, and then frothing it together with water using a handheld milk frother just until the coffee is dissolved. Instant coffee will always get super duper foamy and frothy, like you can see how foamy and frothy that is. Next is going in with 1.5 cups of this. So this little bottle is 16 ounces. 1.5 cups is 12 ounces. So we're almost doing this whole bad boy. Add, oh, she's thick. Is this a concentrate? It is. How funny. Add 7 parts water to every 1 part horchata. I didn't read the instructions. I thought this was just the horchata. No, it is so thick. Hold on, let me get some water. That's hilarious. I'm gonna do about 1 cup of water at least. That's funny. LOL. I've obviously never bought a pre-mix like that. Whoops, I just assumed that it was just like that. The foam does like drive me nuts because this isn't like adding to the drink, and then you can't fit nearly as much in there, but it's fine. We're working with it. Add in 1.5 cups of horchata. Give that a good mix, and then just add ice to the top. Ice, baby. Doom, doom, chicka, boom, boom. Boom, 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 chicka, wow, wow. All of this. Perfect. Alrighty, and it looks like this. I'm not gonna lie to you, it looks delightful. Let's give it a taste test. Oh, baby. Ugh, she's sweet. She's very sweet. It'll definitely depend on which horchata mix you get. Don't just add this in like I did. That was my mistake. I did not realize this was a concentrate. But I still tried to do like at least a 1-to-5-ish ratio. I could probably add even more water. But I don't think the issue is the horchata. I think it's the ratio of instant coffee to horchata. I will give this a 3 out of 5 because I don't think it tastes very good, but I do think it has potential to be really great. Things I would do differently is I would not mix the coffee with water first. You do not need to add 4 ounces of water first. This is meant to add to water or milk. If I were to remake this and actually want to drink it, what I would do is I would make the horchata, use the 1-to-7, ratio of concentrate to water, and then just take 1 cup of that with 2 teaspoons of the Nescafe, mix that together, and then add ice. And I think that would be delightful. Then you get, a cup of horchata with coffee flavor. Mwah. That would be a 4.5 out of 5 for me. This is like a 3. But it has potential to be good. All right, let's move on to recipe number 2. All right, second recipe is an iced vanilla coffee. The recipe on the website is for 4 servings, so I just reduced this all to 1 serving. You can make a bigger batch of this if you want 4 servings for multiple days, or you just want a bigger coffee. I have 1 cup of warm water. Just put water in a cup and microwaved it for a little bit. And then you add in 3/4 of a tablespoon of the ice roast coffee powder. Then I have half a tablespoon of sugar. And then it says to do 1/8 of a cup of the Coffee Mate French vanilla creamer. You can use like the creamer or the powdered version. I'm gonna eyeball like 1/8 of a cup. It's like 1 to 2 tablespoons. And then some ice on top. Mix it all together and taste test. Ugh. Oh, baby. I'm gonna give this one also a 3 out of 5. Again, I think there's potential. Number one, I would completely omit the sugar. You don't need the sugar in it if you're using the creamer. If I were to remake this, I would do a full tablespoon of the instant coffee roast, and then I would do 2 tablespoons of whatever creamer you like, the French vanilla, you can use coconut cream, whatever. And I would think that would be perfect. That'd be perfect. The addition of sugar, I don't love, but I do think the coffee flavor is pretty strong and I like that a lot. So kudos to them on having an appropriate ratio of water to coffee. This one's not bad. Not bad at all. I do think this is a great option if you do want to do 4 or 5 servings for the week and then you're just adding ice every morning. That'd be awesome. You can even skip the creamer, just make the coffee, you know, at the start of the week. I know it doesn't take a lot of time to make the coffee, but you can make a bigger batch of just iced coffee with the water and the ice roast. I think that's an awesome idea. And then you can just add in a tablespoon or 2 of the creamer, add some ice, head out the door, and that'd be a super duper easy iced coffee in the morning. Don't hate this one. I like the idea of it, especially of making a bigger batch of coffee. And I like that this one included a higher amount of granules because I like more of a coffee flavor. I just would skip the sugar because the creamer already has sugar in it. But this one's pretty good. This one's pretty good. Let's move on to recipe number 3. Recipe number 3 is a Mocha Shake. This one's technically not coffee, but it is a recipe on the website that uses the Nescafe Ice Roast. So you need chocolate chips, Nescafe Ice Roast, chocolate ice cream, and milk. Going into a blender, 3 ounces of milk. This is for 1 serving. Again, their serving online is 4 servings. So I'm just dividing everything by 4. To get 1 serving. Then I need half a cup of chocolate ice cream going in, and then just a 1/4 tablespoon of the Nescafe Ice Roast. I feel like you could do half a tablespoon, but we're following the recipe. And then just a couple tablespoons of chocolate chips. I would say 2 tablespoons or so. With chocolate chips, you just measure with your heart, you know? All right, and then, woo! And then we blend this. Blend this until smooth, and I'll be right back. Mocha Shake. Looks delightful. Boop. Oh. That thing is out to get me today. What the heck? I'm looking at the inside and like all of the chocolate chips got left behind, which I think would be a crime. So let's make sure we get all those bad boys in there. And taste test. That's a 5 out of 5 for me. I think that's delightful. So good. I think that's perfect. You can see it only made a little tiny serving. You could absolutely, you know, scale it for more people or just have a larger serving. But I divided it by 4 to make 1 serving, and this is the itty bitty cup it gave me. Okay, like 8 ounces of liquid. Just so you know. I think it's delicious. I think it has really good coffee flavor. I might do half a tablespoon of the instant coffee instead of just the 1/4 tablespoon. But I just think I'd like slightly more of a coffee flavor in a Mocha Shake. But this is honestly really good. I give this a 5 out of 5. Definitely worth trying if you have some chocolate ice cream hanging around. This is delish and very, very fun. And yeah, I think I would make this again. All right, let's jump into recipe number 4. All right, recipe number 4 is a Tres Leches iced latte. Ingredients you'll need, you need ice, the Nescafe Ice Roast instant coffee powder, some warm milk, you need sweetened condensed milk. They like specifically mention having the squeeze bottle, which is perfect because I already had it. And then you need some sweetened whipped cream. You can buy the canned whipped cream canisters. I'm just gonna make my own little whipped cream using heavy whipping cream, vanilla syrup, and a handheld milk frother. The recipe online is 2 servings, and I'm just gonna divide that by 2 to make 1 serving, starting with a tablespoon of sweetened condensed milk in the bottom, of your cup. And then in this cup, I have half a cup of warm milk, and I'm gonna add in 1 teaspoon of the Nescafe Ice Roast and mix that together until the coffee is dissolved. Coffee and milk together. Then pour this coffee milk mixture over your sweetened condensed milk. Mix that together until the sweetened condensed milk is dissolved all at the bottom, and then add some ice. Make a mess. Make a mess per usual. And then we'll make our whipped cream. Again, you can use the canister of whipped cream if you want. I'm just gonna do a little half and half with vanilla syrup because that's basically what whipped cream is. Did I say half and half? Heavy whipping cream, sorry. Heavy whipping cream and vanilla syrup. By the way, you can make whatever flavored whipped cream you want using this method. You can even use like a whipped cream canister. This is just easier. This is just gonna thicken up quite a bit. And then you just add it to the top of your drink. Froth this together until it's nice and thick. That's whipped cream, ladies and gents. Let me just add this to the top of the coffee. Yum, yum. And taste test. That one's honestly really good. I love coffee and sweetened condensed milk. I think the milk to instant coffee ratio is pretty good. This is like a really small amount of coffee, like only 4 ounces. So I would double the amount of coffee and double the amount of milk. So it's a full cup per serving and then 2 teaspoons of this per serving at minimum. But overall, this one's good. And I will rate this one I'm gonna give this one a 5 out of 5. I think flavor is good, sweetness is good, coffee flavor is good. It's just a small serving. I think what they have on the website, it says 2 servings, but it really could be 1 serving. I would just follow that recipe, but only do 1 tablespoon of the sweetened condensed milk instead of 2 tablespoons. But everything else, do the full 2 serving on the website. This is good, this is fun. I like it a lot. All right, let's jump into the final recipe, recipe number 5. What you don't see. Alrighty, and recipe number 5 is an iced cinnamon honey latte. A couple things about this recipe. Number 1, no mention of cinnamon in the recipe or the instructions. So I'm assuming they just accidentally left that out. I will also be leaving that out. Secondly, the serving size in the recipe is 10 servings. So I had no idea if that was like accurate, if that's what they really wanted it to be that many servings. So we're gonna make exactly what the recipe calls for all 10 servings, and then we'll see what that looks like at the end. But I genuinely feel like that has to be a mistake. There's no way this is 10 servings, but that's just me. Also, I feel like Nescafe really needs someone to thoroughly look through the recipes to make sure that they're correct and accurate, but that's also just me. I have 1/3 cup of boiling water. I just put this in my kettle, let it boil, 1/3 of a cup. And to this, we add 1/4 cup, cool, 1/4 cup of the Nescafe Ice Roast instant coffee. Oof. I don't trust myself. 1/4 of a cup. 1/4 of a cup going in. And then just 2 tablespoons of coffee creamer. I'm gonna eyeball this. The recipe again calls for the powdered one. I never use a powdered one. Mix that together until the coffee is dissolved. You can see here, it's not dissolved, so we wanna really mix that in. Come on, baby. And then 1/3 cup of honey. 1/3 cup. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. I love honey in coffee. I love honey and cinnamon in coffee. Tarani has a new syrup and it's salted honey butter, and it's like fabulous. I love it because usually honey doesn't dissolve that great in coffee. You know, even in hot coffee, it still kind of clumps and doesn't fully melt. So I do like the Tarani one. Find it on Amazon, Tarani website. But we're adding in some honey to this hot water. You want that to dissolve as much as possible. Doesn't look like I added any creamer into this whatsoever, but it's fine. We are gonna be adding milk. All right, and then they want you to add in 2 cups of cold water and 3 cups of milk. So we're diluting this baby a lot. I already have 1/3 of a cup of water in there. Adding in 2 cups of water. Oh, this is not all gonna fit. Do we think this is gonna fit in here. They said to do this in a pitcher, but I didn't have like a heat-proof one. This is cooled down now because of the cold water. I'm just gonna add it in here so we can add the milk. Leche going in. Ooh. Oh, wow. I did not think that was gonna work out. Okay, milk going in. Looks pretty good for iced coffee. Just one last stir. Add cinnamon. But the recipe didn't tell me to add cinnamon, so we're not gonna. But this is a honey cinnamon latte. Honey cinnamon latte is what they're calling this. And they're saying this is 10 servings. Not a chance. It's hot in here, so my ice just keeps. Son of a gun, man. This is what I have to go through. Like, I just make mess on top of mess on top of mess every day. The show must go on. Sorry, I literally just broke a glass cup, but I want to finish this video. We must finish the video. All right, adding in my iced cinnamon honey latte to the cup. It honestly looks pretty good. It does look a lot like a latte. Taste test. Okay. Huh. Well, I am just darn tootin' impressed. That's pretty good. Okay. That's actually very, very, very good. I'm gonna give that one a 4 out of 5. Again, I think there's room for improvement. Number one, I don't think this is 10 servings. This would maybe be what, 4 potentially for like 16-ounce lattes or 12-ounce lattes. I do think Nescafe needs to update their serving size. Secondly, I would not add this French vanilla creamer, liquid or powder. I don't think it's helping add anything to the latte. If anything, do a vanilla syrup, like the Torani vanilla syrup. You're already adding so much milk, you don't need to add another creamer, in my opinion. Ex-nay the creamer, you don't need it. Maybe add a flavored syrup, and then definitely add some cinnamon. And then you have iced coffee, basically, for a few days, which I really like. If you are gonna follow the recipe online, I would say that that's a total of 4 servings. So if you want a single serving of this recipe on the Nescafe website, I would just divide everything by 4. I like this one a lot. I think the honey flavor is really yum. I think adding cinnamon to that would be delicious. Let me know if you have a Nescafe Ice Roast recipe that you make and you love, or if you've tried any of these recipes from the Nescafe website. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it gave you some inspiration for ways to use your Nescafe Ice Roast instant coffee powder. And I will see you in the next video. Mwah! Got a blast. I may or may not have dropped a glass cup. Great. Love that for me. Love that for me. For me.